All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm talking about the current Rolex market. Today's October 28th, 2023, and I'm seeing a quick decline in Rolex prices. So what I've done is I picked three models, and we're going to go through the internet and talk about these and see, are they really dropping in price? And if so, should you buy one on the used market or try to get one from the AD? So the ones that I've picked, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, that's a watch new from Rolex that sells for $6,100. Just want to get these prices out there so you know what actual retail is from Rolex. So the OP is $6,100. The Explorer 36 all steel, not two-tone, $7,250. That's the next watch I'm going to be talking about. $7,250 from Rolex. Last is the Submariner 41 no date. That's $9,100 from Rolex. These are all current models that I'm looking at. So I'm picking those three. The place that I usually go to when I'm looking at watch trends is called watchcharts.com. And they usually give a pretty good analysis of what's been happening the past few weeks, past month in the market. But today what I saw is I'm seeing a pretty quick decline. And when I mean decline, we're getting closer to the actual retail price of these watches. So watchcharts.com, go there, plug in these numbers, and you can look at it. But I wanted to go to the actual internet, to some sites that are pretty popular to actually gauge the market today, October 28th. So the first one I went to is Bob's Watches. If you don't know Bob's Watches, they're a highly respected Rolex and high-end watch dealer in Newport Beach, California. They've been around. They actually buy their watches. They have a store. If you're in Orange County, you can walk in there and take a look at it. So Bob's is right now got the Oyster Perpetual, the 126000 for $8,195. Now in the past, when I was looking at the Oyster Perpetual on their website, it typically ran around $8,800. And these prices are usually negotiable with websites like Bob's. So $8,195 currently on Bob's for the 126000. Next, we're going to the Explorer 36 all steel, the 124270. That right now at Bob's is $8,995. Now, not that long ago, that was getting close to almost $10,000 for the Explorer all steel. Next at Bob's, I'm looking at the Submariner. This is the 41 no date. This is the 124060, $12,995 for Submariner. So again, Bob's is going to be a little bit high because they expect you to negotiate with them. Next site that I'm going to go to, actually where I bought my Oyster Perpetual, is the Watchbox. Again, the Watchbox, similar to Bob's, they buy their watches. They have multiple actually brick and mortar locations you can go into. So I go to the Watchbox. They do not have a black dial 126000. That's what I'm looking at, the most basic Oyster Perpetual. So I can't really use any numbers from them. But traditionally, they run right in line with Bob's as far as their pricing. So I couldn't find a price on the OP. The Explorer, which gets interesting, they've got Explorers, the 124270. They've got them ranging from $8,450 to $8,950. And this is a $7,250 watch. And those were getting close to 10 grand not that long ago. So the Watchbox has got a pretty competitive price right now on the Explorer 36, $8,450. I mean, granted, it's a $7,250 watch, but, you know, you see where we're going here. We're coming down in pricing. Let's go to the Submariner, the 124060 at the Watchbox. They got $11,950. So they're a grand cheaper than Bob's. And this is all contingent on what these guys actually paid for their watches. So Bob's might have more money in that sub that they've got listed that I'm showing here at $12,995. The Watchbox is down to $11,950. On a sub, 41 millimeter, no date. All right, where do we go next? eBay. So eBay to me is a real gauge of the market. That's the quick sale. Those are mostly private sellers. So what I do is I go to eBay and I'm going to show you how you're going to do this search, because that gives you the quickest information on what's actually going on in the watch market. So when you go to eBay, you're going to go to the search bar And we're going to start with the Oyster Perpetual. I'm just going to plug in 126000, black, and then I'm going to search. Here's what you want to do if you want to gauge the market. Do not look at the listed prices. Don't look at what things are being auctioned off at. You're going to go over to the right corner and click Filter. I always only look at the authenticity guarantee listings. So click the authenticity guarantee listings, because if you don't, you're going to see some really cheap Oyster Perpetuals, and you're going to think, wait a minute, this isn't making sense. Just don't buy those. They'll tell you there's a problem. Don't buy anything that's not listed authenticity guarantee. So click the authenticity guarantee. So then next you're going to go down, there's a little tab that says Show More. And I'm just showing you this in case you don't know. You're going to go all the way down, keep scrolling down, and you'll see sold items, completed items. Make sure both of those are clicked. So sold items, completed items, then click your search. You're going to get everything that's sold at that model number that actually sold, not just an auction that ended. What it sold, and what it sold for. So we get to eBay and we're looking at the Oyster Perpetual, the 126000. Right now we've got some, and I'm only looking at October because you can look at these listings. You start getting into September and August, prices were higher. But right now I'm seeing 6,812 authenticity guarantee just sold, 6,812, 126000 box of papers. We got another one, 6829. The most that I see that's sold in October is 7,500 for an Oyster Perpetual black dial box papers, 126000 authenticity guarantee. So I don't care what all these other sites say. This is what people are actually going to pay for your watch. And that's a good indicator of probably what the Watchbox or Bob's is going to pay if you were to turn around and try to sell it. So you see the OP is not far from its retail price, 68, and it retails 6,100. All right, so let's go to the Explorer, 124270. Again, you're going to do the same thing, and always make sure that those completed are checked and the authenticity is checked. So you can type in 124270, search, and then you go to your filter, click authenticity guarantee because it already kicked it out, then scroll all the way down until you see completed and sold. Make sure both those tabs are clicked. So now we're looking at the Explorers, and we got one that sold this month, $78.93. We got one that sold $75.45, $75.50, $79. And if you look at Watchbox is asking $84 and $89, Bob's is asking $89. These are selling in the sevens, the mid sevens, $75, $75, $79. Now, if you're looking at this, and I'm going to put pictures of this so you can see, when you're looking at these listings that are sold and completed, if you see, let's say here's one that sold October 1st, $7,850, and it's got a green line through it. What that means is that was negotiated, that was a better offer, was accepted. They're not going to show what that is. So when you see a line through it, so this was $78.50, sold October 1st, and there's a line through it. We don't know what it sold for, but you do know it sold less than $78.50. So I'm only looking at October. September, you see stuff going up higher. Stuff was selling for more in September and going into August. Like here's an August Explorer for $7,800. So as we're getting into October, I see these prices going down. Let's move on to the sub. Again, you got to do this all over again. Type your number in, your model number 124060. We're going to search it. Going to go over to the filter. Make sure you pick authenticity guarantee. Scroll all the way down and go to sold and completed and make sure both those are clicked. We're looking now and we're seeing subs going from, here's one 10498. Here's one for 11.1. Sold October. 11.1. The most expensive I see is a 12.9. And these are all authenticity guarantee, box and papers. So what I think is happening, I mean, eBay's definitely got the lowest prices right now. And again, just do the authenticity guarantee. What I think has happened is the flippers that were hoarding these watches are trying to dump them. You know, a lot of these watches that were getting sold through the ADs were going to people that were scouting them out, getting them, and holding on to them as some sort of investment. But why are people dumping watches, box and papers that are a year old, not worn? These are flippers that were just hanging on to it. And right now, I think they're getting nervous and they're trying to dump these and get as much profit as they can because they're not far over list from Rolex, which is obviously going to be the best deal. So my advice to you, first and foremost, go get on the list at the AD if you're not in a hurry. Try that because the market is, I don't want to say softening up. We're getting almost right back to retail with several of these. We're not far off of it, and it's surprising on Explorer. Put your name on the list with the AD. If you don't want to do that, look at some of these from eBay, always authenticity guarantee. These are people probably like bought a 1 or a 2 from their AD and hoarded it away. I wouldn't say these are professional flippers. They got the watch. Maybe they just said this is going to be an investment, and now they're worried and they're going to dump it. So there's some deals to be had on here. And remember, you can make an offer on these watches that are on eBay. So I just want to let you know that what I've been watching the past couple of days, the market is softening up, especially with the quick sellers. I don't go to Chrono 24 to try to explain the market because it's so all over the place. And a lot of times people put stuff on Chrono 24 and just let it sit for 6 months. So they'll price it way out of a bracket that doesn't apply anymore. I think eBay gives me the quickest real time to understand what the market is doing. I've sold stuff on eBay since, the early 90s when they first came out. And I'd always look at an item in the completed and sold bracket before I would price it out, because that's the true indicator of where the market is. I'm not telling you have to buy from eBay, but looking at what stuff is selling for on eBay is the quickest way to identify where the watch market is. And that's what I've always done. So these are the prices. OPs going from 68 to 75. Explorers 75 to 8. Subs 10.5, 11.1. That's the market today, guys. October 28th, 2023. Hey, look, leave your comments below. Where do you think the market's headed? And as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.